Well, hello everybody. It's nice to have some new faces here. I'm Bob, in case I haven't introduced myself to you. I'm one of the teachers, and let me introduce the other teacher here. That would be Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Amy, did you get snowed on yet?
Yep.
Are you enjoying
Of course.
She can't hear you, probably. It's my microphone.
I did.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a mic for that for later so that we can pass things around. In any case, let me start with a few bits of business. Thank you all for coming. It's so generous of you to be here, not just for me and for Amy, but for the other yogis present. We're all here for whatever reason we're here for. Mine is because my friends tell me I'm much nicer when I meditate, and I think it's been proven out. In fact, if you don't know the person next to you, why don't you introduce yourself so we all feel a little bit more comfortable here? And if you do know the person next to you, say hi anyway. And if there's nobody next to you, that's Cameron in the back. Okay, I'm going to invite everybody just to take a really nice deep cleansing breath and set your intention for being here tonight, whatever that might be. Okay, the restroom's in the foyer in there. There are two locks. One is a sliding lock, which is a little tricky to make sure you get it in there. The other is a lock on the door. If you use the lock on the door, you may forget to unlock it. And when you close the door behind you, it will lock and we'll have to go punch the code in. So maybe just use the sliding lock, but make sure it locks. And before you go in, perhaps knock. There is water and cups out there, but please don't bring an open container in here. Closed containers are fine, but Trin asked us not to do that. And finally, generosity. Thank you so much for being here. The Bohdi tree has really been wonderful in extending this space to us at no charge. And Amy and I do not accept dana, which is generosity, for this. But there is a dana box out there if you'd like to contribute to the continuation of the Bohdi tree. That's where it goes. So there's no requirement to do that. but if you're so moved, it's out there. And let's see what else we have here. No, that's it for my part for the beginning of this. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Amy to do with the next part. And she will be taking a look at you guys because we can sort of see you. Nobody can be seen, but I mean, that way she knows not who's here, but that there are people here. All yours.
Thank you. Yeah. I wanted to appreciate Bob for making this happen. For those of you who are new, I moved from Hawaii to Alaska about 2.5 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks now. Oops, sorry. And I hide myself here. I'm here temporarily to work with kids at a middle school and high school as a counselor. And Bob and I had so much fun doing this that we decided to keep going and do this digitally, which might feel a little funny to some of you, but for those of you who know me, I think some people are really appreciative too. So all the things, just like in the Dharma. So we'll go ahead and start with some movement. So if your body is able and comfortable, let's go ahead and stand up.
And we might give ourselves room.
Yeah. And be careful of the fans. They can be quite short and are quite close to the hands, so don't put yourself in any situation. Yeah, so making sure you have room, allowing the body to sway a little bit in space. Maybe paying attention to part of the body as you sway. Maybe the feet, maybe the breath. Maybe rolling the shoulders back and breathing out. Now we'll go ahead and swoop our arms up to the sky. The inhale of the breath. And then let them out and down with the exhale. We'll do this another few times. Breathing in. Maybe reaching up to the sky. Breathing out. They glide down. Following the body and the breath. And we'll do one more round, reaching up and then staying up high and pausing and reaching to the sky a little more. Wiggling the fingers. And then now we'll go forward into a fold. Nice and slow if the body allows for it. If not, this can be done in so many ways. Just the invitation to be present in the body. And as you're dangling, you can decide how you want to dangle. You can keep your arms on your legs. That feels comfortable. You can use any posture down here that feels comfortable. And slowly using your core muscles, bending the knees, moving, gliding your way up. And we'll do this one more time, sweeping the arms out. And then forward fold. And slowly once again, rising, bending the knees, slowly bringing the body up. Once again, we're going to do some shoulder rotations. We'll start with rotating the shoulders back, possibly synchronizing the breath. Roll the shoulders at your own pace, as fast or as slow as you'd like. Here and now. Maybe on one rotation, go ahead and have the shoulders continue to be in the backward position where you're pinching your shoulder blades together. And we'll swoop the arms out alongside the body to increase this feeling of the pinched shoulder blades. And then we'll bring the arms forward as we roll our shoulders forward. For those of you that know like cat-cow, that's what this motion is like. We roll the body in the opposite direction. And then we roll the arms out again, bring the arms out, open up the arms, and pinch the shoulder blades again. Now once again, we're going to roll and bring the body forward, bring the arms forward, roll the upper body into a curvature. And then back out again. Imagining here the heart opening. We'll glide the arms down the body. And let's go ahead and have our arms pressed into our back. Taking some breaths here as once again we stretch out the chest. Maybe noticing what it is that the body feels like now versus when we first started to move. Now letting the arms drop to the side, we're going to shake them out a little bit. Shaking out the arms and the shoulders. You can wiggle a little bit. Feels good. You can bounce up on your toes. And then we'll begin to do twisting movements, allowing the arms to maybe make contact with the back and the side. You can choose the pace that you want to go or follow my pace. And then we'll bring the arms up a little higher so we begin to hit the shoulders too. Tapping the shoulders and the back. Maybe increasing the speed. Bringing some energy into the room and into the body. And slowing down and boring a little bit. Slowing down. Paying attention to the slowing of the body. And coming to stillness. Let's put one hand on the heart, the chest area, and one on the belly. Checking in with this body. Either with your eyes closed or open. Let's rest the attention on the belly. Experiencing the inhale and the exhale like a wave in the ocean. And then moving the mind's eye, the attention to the feet. The toes, curve the bottom of the foot, and the heel, contact with the floor, grounded. And then we'll move the attention up to the heart, the chest area. This heart, this belly, these feet that have been taking us through life, walking us through life. And if it feels available, sending some gratitude to this heart, to this stomach, to these feet. Maybe thanking the entire body from head to toes. It might not be perfect. There might be ways in which we wish our body was different. But this body can be an unsung hero to us in this life, doing so much more behind the scenes than we give credit, that we take for granted until something goes wrong with it. Thank you, body. I know you're doing the best you can. And with this presence that we've begun to build, we'll begin to consider making our way to a seated position. Just considering it right now. the brain might already have a plan, might already be time traveling into the future. What do I need to grab? How do I want to sit? Did I choose the right seat? If you're new, you might be thinking, what am I doing here? Just noting whatever the thoughts are, past, present, or future. And in a moment, I'm going to take a step towards this mat or this chair, cushion, whatever position you're going to find yourself in next. And as we take a step, we're going to see what it might be like to be present, just the lifting, the moving, placing, and keep our attention on our feet here. And we don't have to worry about going a certain pace. We don't have to rush. There's going to be plenty of time to do whatever that needs to be done to get to your seated position. It doesn't matter if you're first or last. There's no comparison. There's no social expectation. I mean, we're just going to trust that everyone here is patient. And just be here in the present. Go ahead and begin to lower the eyes and relax the body as I shift my position. I'm going to turn off the camera for a second so it doesn't bother anyone as I adjust the computer. So just one moment as you settle in, I'm going to shift things around over here. Wherever the mind might be right now, see if you can know what's present inside. With a slightly different perspective. The invitation is to be right here, right now, with the perspective of awareness. Oh, this is what my brain is. Oh, I'm thinking about work, kids, I'm hungry, whatever the brain's doing. Oh, that's what it's doing. This is how it is right now. What is the mind doing? Is it just with me in these words? Does it have something to judge? Maybe about the temperature, the body, my voice, your own life or others in your life? Does it have something it's clinging to and wanting to be different? Because unless you're enlightened in every moment or the next moment, these states are occurring, wanting, not wanting, flavors of unease, dukkha, that as we sit, we may soften, slow down, and have moments of something else. If the mind is very busy, we'll choose one object for our attention. The breath or the body, sounds, maybe a metta phrase. Choose your own adventure of choosing a singular object to stay with. And if the mind is calm, we'll let presence be the object of attention. Thought, feelings, body sensation, labeling them as they come and go. Sight, sound, taste, touch. Choosing your own adventure. and coming back when we get lost in the storyline of our to-dos, our difficulties, coming back so gently. So I got lost. I'm going to come back to the breath. It's okay. Being human is to be lost from time to time, or quite often, actually. But the remembering to be here with compassion, presence, acceptance, and care, time and time again. If the body needs to shift or move, that's okay. Just doing it gently. And once again, coming back to stillness. If you're having some trouble with the anchor of awareness, where to hold your attention. Often the breath can be a support. And on the inhale, you say in your mind, here. And on the exhale, you may say, now, here, and now. For the remaining few minutes of this sit, invitation to once again place the hand on the chest, on the heart, and on the belly. And once again, feeling the movement of the energy of the hand on the stomach, the heart, and on the surface of our body. It's making contact with the floor, the chair, cushion. And if it's available, sending metta to these areas of the body. My stomach, be safe and protected, happy and healthy. May my legs, my feet, my lower half of the body be safe and protected, happy and healthy. May this heart, may this heart be safe and protected, happy and healthy. May all living beings everywhere, may all of their hearts be safe and protected, happy and healthy. Breathe. Breathe.
Thanks, Amy. We'll now have about a 7-minute break. We hope that you would remain in silence during this. The restroom is that way. Feel free to go out on the lanai. There's some cups and water in the foyer, and we'll call you back with a bell. Hmm. Welcome back. Just take a moment to settle in and get comfortable. I'll be talking for a while now. I have practiced this. Not this talk, but talking. So, thank you for being here again. You were all practicing the first parami, which is the first perfection, which was generosity. And I talked about this a few weeks ago. And then a couple of weeks later, I talked about sila, or virtue, and ethics, which for me is based in generosity, by giving people the freedom from worry about being injured by you or having you take their things, giving them the gift of truthfulness, giving ourselves the gift of clear-headedness, and giving everyone the gift of not misusing sexuality and understanding that it isn't something to be taken lightly, and must involve consent. And those are all generosities. The last time I talked, we talked about renunciation, which is letting go of things, right? Especially things like our perceptions of ourself and the stories we tell ourselves about who we are that keep us from being something more. I know I used to have that terrible self-talk. Oh, you can't do anything right. And if you tell yourself you can't do anything right all the time, guess what? You begin to believe yourself. And that's not a good place to be. So this week, I'm talking about the fourth parami, or wisdom. And this is a practice, right? This isn't something we necessarily begin with. I think we do. I think babies, in a way, are very wise because they have that open awareness and that ability to simply be present. And gosh, we teach that right out of them. We can't have that, especially when we don't have it. So the wisdom, in a sense, is what we're trying to uncover, what we're trying to cultivate, is that mindfulness, that being present here in the world, which is the truth of what's actually going on. Not that stuff in my head all the time. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to do for breakfast tomorrow. Did I have more eggs? Did I eat all that? What am I? Wait a second. Am I supposed to go somewhere? Am I supposed to talk to somebody? All of that's future. All of that's past. All of that is what I've heard other teachers call selfing, right? You're reinforcing that concept of self. So panya is wisdom, and it's seeing clearly and penetrating sort of the real nature of reality and understanding impermanence, anicca, right? Everything's changing at every moment. If we sit here and pay attention to it, we'll note everything changes all the time. It doesn't have to be big changes, but just simply feeling a breeze means the air is moving. It's not doing much tonight, I will grant you that. But in general, you can feel it. Really quickly, moving on from that is virya, or energy, kanti, or patience, satya, or truthfulness, adhitthana, which is determination, metta, which we've heard a little about in Amy's meditation, which is loving kindness, and upekkha. So we'll be talking about those in future weeks, but tonight it's wisdom. And for me, it always sounds like a stretch, right? Like, I don't feel particularly wise. But again, it's not about wisdom we have. It's about practicing to become somebody who can see clearly. We all can. We were all babies once. I promise you that. Nobody was delivered by the stork full grown. It doesn't happen. But again, this is about acquiring it rather than displaying it. So in the Theravada tradition, there are three sources through which we can receive wisdom. And the first is from hearing it. So if we were present when the Buddha was alive and we got to hear his words from him, we might actually have become enlightened. There are stories that people heard what he had to say and were like, oh, I get it. Okay, cool. And there they were. But also through study, we can do that. Reading the suttas, listening to wise friends. There's wise friend Kalyana Mitta groups that meet where people can sit together and discuss the Dhamma and hopefully learn something. There's wisdom from reflection, which is really sort of thinking this over, going through it. And then there's another one which seems to have disappeared in my notes. There it is, down at the bottom, direct experience. And that's the one we get to do when we sit in practice, is direct experience of knowing, of feeling, of being present in this moment. And we can do it in meditation, where we see this impermanence. We can do it in daily life. How many of us in daily life have really felt the water when we're washing dishes? Or really just, today I took a shower. I do most days, just so you're aware. But I was in this luxurious water, just being aware of it on me. I wasn't thinking for that moment about soaping up or washing my hair or any of that other stuff. It was just this glorious feeling of being present in the water. In speech, talking with kindness, hearing with kindness, truthfulness, right? That again, that generosity of truth. And honestly, this is from some of the teachers that I've been with in teaching, because I don't know that you will walk out any wiser for anything I've said tonight. Hopefully, at least I will, right? Because they always say, if you can't do, teach. Hopefully, I'll learn something tonight. I love this poem by Mary Oliver. I think it speaks to some of this experience. This one is Mindful, and I've probably read it here before. Mary Oliver is the patron poet of meditators pretty much everywhere in the West. Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in a haystack of light. It's what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but of the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can I help but grow wise with such teachings? The untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. I think that speaks deeply of the wisdom of experience, of being present in every moment and learning simply from what's around us, the true nature of the world. Another wonderful story comes from the suttas, and it's one of my favorites, and it's one of the first I heard many, many years ago, that I was like, oh my goodness, I get it. I wasn't enlightened, but it really rang true with me about what meditation is. I'm going to tell it rather quickly, but it's the story of Bahia, of the bark cloth. And he was a monk, a priest. He lived on the west side of India, on the ocean, and he was revered by the people in the village near him. They would bring dana, they would feed him, they would come for advice. And he really thought that he was doing everything. He would spend most of the day in meditation, and he thought, I am one of those in the world who are perfected or on the path to perfection. Now, a deva came to him. This is a godlike being who actually had once, because they go through the cycles of life too, had once been a friend of his and said, yeah, no, Bahia, no, no. This isn't happening. You don't have the practice by which you can become enlightened. In fact, none of what you're doing is going to help you reach nibbana. And there is someone who can help you, though. And of course, the deva pointed out the Buddha. And so Bahia took the advice of this deva, his friend, and ran off miles and miles and miles across India to reach the Buddha, who was at Savatthi at the time. And he got there in the morning. And if you know anything about Buddhist monks, they're on alms rounds in the morning. So the Buddha was not at the park where they were encamped. He was in the village. And Bahia said, well, where's the Buddha? I need to talk with him. Everybody said, well, he'll be back. He'll be back. Relax. And Bahia was like, oh, no, I got to go. So he went down to the village and found the Buddha, rushed out and came to him. And he said, oh, sir, blessed one, teach me the Dhamma. Let the Holy One teach me the Dhamma. That would be for my lasting welfare and happiness. And the Buddha said, no, Bahia, this isn't the time. This is alms rounds. This is what we do in the morning. And Bahia said, yeah, but you never know, sir, when life is at risk. Either the Buddha's or my own. Let the Buddha teach me the Dhamma now. Teach me, for it would be for my lasting welfare. And the Buddha said, no, it's just not the time. And again, Bahia cried out, but I might die. You might die. This could all be over before you get to teach me, before I get to. But the Buddha finally relented, right? If you know anything about the Buddha's teachings, often you have to ask 3 times, and then the Buddha will relent and teach you something. So, and this is the important part. This is the part that struck me. In that case, Bahia, you should train like this. In the seen will merely be the seen. In the heard will merely be the heard. In the thought will merely be the thought. In the known will merely be the known. That's how you should train. When you've trained in this way, you won't be by that. And when you're not by that, you won't be in that. And when you're not in that, you won't be in this life or the next or between the two. Just this is the end of suffering. And so we're really encouraged to just, when there's hearing. Not I'm hearing. There's no self there. There's just hearing. When thoughts arise, there are just thoughts arising. When seeing, there are just things. So that's the practice. And we had a touch of that in Amy's meditation, and we'll be doing that ourselves. So why don't we practice for about, well, we'll try to give it 15 minutes so we end a little early and have time for questions. Let me set my timer. You guys get ready, take some nice deep cleansing breaths. Just allow ourselves to get comfortable. Go ahead and wiggle or move. Be in a position where we won't be uncomfortable for the next 15 minutes or so. In this particular meditation, it would be helpful if we're in a dignified posture and alert. So I always like to think of my back as a stack of quarters, not in a tight paper roll, just as if you let them slip between your fingers into a stack. So they might be a little off, but they're standing up straight and comfortable. Take a nice deep breath in, really fill our lungs. Exhale slowly. Just let our body settle. And I invite us to let our consciousness settle into our body, just as our body is settling into our cushion or our chair. Just allowing everything to come to rest. Just letting the breath do what it does. Just allowing ourselves to feel our body, to hear what is around us, to be present to whatever is in our visual field. We don't need to understand anything. Thoughts may arise, but we don't need to think. We don't need to put that brain to work discovering this. We simply need to be present for it and uncover it. We let sounds arise. They pass on their own, just as thoughts do. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and no one we have to be at the moment. We've heard poetry from Mary Oliver. Just allow that to echo on and be present. We've heard the Buddha's words. In seeing, there's merely the seen. In hearing, merely the heard. In thinking, just the thoughts. And in the known, just the known. Just allow this to resonate. We don't need to analyze those thoughts. Just let them all gently echo in our heart space. Let's become aware of what is arising in this moment and what is passing. Sounds and thoughts and sensations. We needn't grasp after them. We needn't push them away. We can just note what is arising and be aware of what is passing. If thoughts arise, and they certainly do for me, we can just be aware of them. And if we're a little taken by them, we might ask ourselves, is this helpful? Is it true? Is this mine? Just noticing the impermanence of thought, of sounds. We aren't calling these thoughts to mind, just as we aren't calling sounds to mind. They just arise. Let this moment be enough. Mary Oliver wrote, "Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight." Can we feel that delight in this moment? In our breath, in sounds arising and passing, sensations, even thoughts. Let us rest in simply being present. In the breath, there is only the breath. In sound, only sound. In thought, only thought. Allowing ourselves to be like the sky. All of these passing like clouds, puffy clouds, arising and moving on. No need to grasp or fix or resist. This is the wisdom of seeing clearly. Let this moment be enough. In a moment, I'll invite the bell to ring. I encourage you not to rush back, but to let it become part of your meditation, just allowing it to be present. Just as these words from Mary Oliver are present. To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends upon it, and when the time comes to let it go, to let it go. Let this breath carry you. Let wisdom hold you. May all your moments be enough. Thank you for practicing with me tonight. This is the time when it's okay if you have questions or wish to share a little about your experience. We close in about 10 minutes, but we've got a little time now so that Amy can hear. Let me make sure that this is not working. Yeah, it's not working. We always want to make sure our stuff doesn't work when we do this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's working now. So if anybody has something they'd like to share, I'll hand them the mic or ask a question. I was grasping today on Amazon Prime Day. I really wanted to buy a conference camera. Anybody? Here, I'll bring the mic over and you can just pass it on to the next person. You don't need to speak too deeply into it.
Hello.
It'll be fine.
Amy, we miss you, but it is also very nice to see you virtually. So stay warm and say hello to all my friends in Alaska. I don't know if I shared this last week or not. I was on a retreat, personal retreat for several weeks, and I learned to do walking meditation. I found it when I tried here to be very, very difficult. I think maybe it was because afraid of running into people. But I was in the woods, in the forest in California, and I was there all kind of by myself, nobody to bother me. Silence was perfect. And even though I can't walk more than 10 yards or 15, 20 yards, I forced myself to do it. And I had the greatest walking meditation experience with the trees, with the foliage, with the birds, and with the silence. I never thought I would be doing walking meditation, but I would encourage you to try it if you haven't, because it was extremely powerful and settling for me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Janice. It's my first time here. Can you hear me okay?
We can't hear. You need to speak up so we can hear you
Oh.
as well.
Oh. I'll start over. My name is Janice. It's my first time here. I'm on a personal journey. And I want to thank you both for holding this session. It's helped me a lot. It's helped me to see where I have some unresolved issues. Amy, when you said metta, it hit me. So that was, I think I'm saying that correctly. And if I'm not, I apologize. But when you said it, it hit me in different spots. So I know I'm a work in progress, and I'm happy to be here. And just thank you for sharing, and thank you all for being here as well. Anybody?
Thank you.
Can you elaborate on? You were saying something about you noticed it when she said working on metta. So, like, what was like your work in progress?
Okay, so the question was when Amy said metta, I mentioned that I felt something. So hmm. Um, something happened to me many years ago, and I never really, uh, life happens, and you just sometimes you push things in and far back, and I've had a few miscarriages. And when you said that, it just hit me in my tummy. So, and these are, of course, children that I definitely wanted. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen. But anyways, um, I thought I was okay. I'm obviously not. And it was really, although I'm crying, I mean, it was still I'm happy to know that um, it's, I haven't resolved it. I didn't give myself time. And I will start doing that. I'll start taking care of better of myself. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing this.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Glad you're here.
Uh, I want to thank Amy and Bob for being here every Wednesday. It's something I look forward to. Since I've been coming to Bohdi Tree, I feel the difference. I was washing the dishes, which I don't really enjoy, but I was like you were showering. I was just slowly washing each plate and watching the water and suds just flow. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is joyful. And I notice when I'm walking my dog, I look up at the trees. I mean, it's just, it's just been nice. And I think I shared with Trin about coming here makes me feel safe. And as I was meditating, I always feel like, I try to get, oh, this I have to do, and this is what I need to plan. Then I try to come back to just flying and knowing that I'm flying, but there's going to be a safety net. And I always feel so safe. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And you folks noticed the washing the dishes and finding joy in it? That's exactly the wisdom that we were talking about in experiential wisdom. So congratulations. You may be the wisest of us here tonight. Get time for one more, I think, before we need to shut off the stream. We can stick around after.
Actually, I was just going to say thank you. So I'll let Paul talk because
Oh.
it's his first time here.
Oh, thank you. I just, the end when you were talking about, embracing and then letting go when it's time. Today, my Candy passed away, and she's the most beautiful living being, loving living being I've ever met in my life.
Mm.
And so you hit me right there in that moment. So it's been a hard day, but thank you.
Thank you for being here. With that, one of the things we always do when we close is dedicate the merit of our practice tonight. Let me switch cameras here so Amy can see me. Thank you, especially the two of you who really opened up about what's going on in your life. Thank you for that generosity for us. This is a wonderfully healing place to be. There's always a lot of work to do, but finding out how we actually feel about things, finding out the truth of what's in us, is a path to liberation. It's not a path to destruction in that sense. Things are hard. The Buddha talked about dukkha, about suffering, about impermanence, about growing old, about getting sick, about passing. These are the facts of existence. Um, but we can, and I was talking about the last parami, the 10th parami, upekkha, or equanimity, become okay in the face of all this. It doesn't mean we're indifferent to it. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, but it does mean that we have the capacity for it. Amy, anything you'd like to add before we close?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's what was coming to me is what I think I've heard Gil Fronsdal say is being able to be okay with not being okay. And that equanimity can be even in grief, even in these things we've shoved down. We can be like, it's okay, it's okay. It's that pain, that whatever is there, that holding it, almost like you know, hold on to a loved one and, maybe stroke their back and say, it's okay. Not to make it, push it away, not to deny it, and just here with it. And I think that's how I think of equanimity. It hurts. It's okay. Okay.
Let's just take a nice deep cleansing breath. If we might, and if you're comfortable, put your hand over your heart for this. And allow ourselves to feel compassion for ourselves, for the other members of this Sangha, especially those who shared their experience with us. The second of the Brahma Viharas is karuna, or compassion. So we might hold each other in our hearts and in our thoughts and in our minds and offer, I am aware of your suffering. May your suffering end. May you may you have the capacity to experience joy in the light of suffering. May we allow ourselves to grieve for each other and exult in each other. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be happy and open to joy. May all beings be healthy and strong in body, heart, and mind. And may all beings live with equanimity and wisdom. May the merits of our action tonight help each of us that we may become freer, and by doing so, allowing ourselves to help others to escape pain, to escape suffering, to find equanimity and joy. Thank you so much, everybody. And you're more than welcome to stick around and chat. And we'll leave Amy on, but I'm going to end the stream. She'll still be on.